if I told you the secret to fat loss isn't sacrifice, it's flavor? A lot of people think losing weight means bland chicken breasts and steamed broccoli, but in this video I'm sharing with you 3 delicious recipes that have helped me lose 20 pounds and gain muscle mass. They're so good you'll actually look forward to eating them. And I'm even giving you the recipe cards. My name is Isaac Floyd. I'm a university nutrition professor and private chef, and for over 10 years I've studied the intersection between food, nutrition, and human behavior. And I found that the best diet is the one that you can actually stick to. Let's start with my favorite of the 3, my crispy jerk chicken tenders. I'm gonna start by marinating our chicken. I have these tenders, but we're gonna cut them in half one more time so we get thin, juicy chicken strips. For the marinade, you can use pickle juice, but I'm gonna step it up and use the juice from these pickled hot sweet peppers. So feel free to get creative with your marinade, but the vinegar, sugar, and spice in this is gonna make these chicken tenders flavorful to the core. I'm going to cover these and let them marinate while we make the rest of the food. Now for our jerk seasoning, again, if you want to keep it simple, you can buy this from the store. But if you want to make your own, don't get intimidated. It's a lot more simple than it looks. We're going to use some onion powder, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, allspice, cinnamon, black pepper, thyme, a pinch of oregano and basil, which is really optional. And I like to add a little curry to my jerk seasoning, which is also optional, brown sugar, and a little salt. This jerk dry rub is so good that whenever I make it, I have to make a larger batch so that I can have it on hand for other things. I can literally put this on everything. So once we have all our ingredients in the bowl, we'll mix it up really good. Make sure you mash out any clumps, and we'll put this in a little jar so we can use it whenever we want. Now for our rice, we're going to start with a little coconut cream in a pot and add a couple tablespoons of brown sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla extract and just a couple drops of almond extract. Now the vanilla and almond extract is definitely optional. Think of it as extra credit. It's definitely going to level up the flavor of that rice, but if you want to keep it simple or you don't have these already at home, don't sweat. But if you do, be careful with the almond extract because unlike vanilla extract, a little too much almond extract can overpower a dish. So my rule of thumb is like 2 drops of almond extract per serving if I'm using it. Next we'll add some cinnamon and simmer this until it's thick. Now this has to be my favorite step of this whole entire recipe because we've essentially just made a creamy coconut caramel as the base for this rice. And it's gonna be so delicious. This is one of those dishes that I'm definitely known for that people always remember and ask me to make again. Next we'll add our beans. Now my favorite beans for this dish are red kidney beans, but you can also use black beans if you want to mix it up. And we're going to add some brown rice. For this recipe I like to use chilled brown rice, so after I cook it I let it set in the fridge so it's not so squishy. Next we'll make our zucchini salad. This is a fun step because we're going to use our spiralizer. This is a great tool to have on hand. I've actually had this particular spiralizer for at least 7 years and it's still sharp and works like a charm. Next we're going to make our salad dressing. In a bowl we're going to add the juice from 1 lemon, some honey, a little peri sauce. Peri sauce is an African sauce made with fermented chilies, lemon juice, garlic, and some other ingredients. It's so flavorful, but a little goes a long way. But it adds a unique, savory, spicy kick to any dish. It's definitely one of my favorite condiments to keep on hand because it's so potent, it lasts a long time. A little rice vinegar, give it a good mix, and we'll toss our zucchini noodles in our salad dressing. Last but not least, we're going to air fry or bake our chicken tenders now that they've had a chance to soak up that marinade. We're going to combine some almond flour with some jerk seasoning. Line our tray or baking sheet with some foil. I'm going to put these in another bowl just so that they're not too wet as we bread them. I could have just drained the juice out of that larger bowl, but I must have been in the mood to wash some extra dishes. But we're going to bread our chicken tenders in that almond flour jerk mix and spread them out on our oiled baking sheet. Air fry or bake those on 400 for about 15 minutes, and now it's time to eat. I like to make my plates look real fancy, so we're going to season half the plate. Add our coconut rice, our chicken tenders, which came out beautiful, Using almond flour as a breading when you air fry helps to retain that moisture and keep chicken, especially chicken breast, from being dry when you air fry it. It's also going to give a nice nutty flavor and crispy texture. Now for the salad, you can make the dressing in bulk if you like, but I always recommend spiralizing the zucchini fresh because if you let it sit too long with the dressing, it'll get soggy. So make sure you spiralize your zucchini when you're ready to eat it. This is definitely one of my favorite healthy comfort recipes. It's so easy to make and very simple with complex flavors. This is a restaurant quality meal at home, and it blends some of the best flavors from America to Africa to the Caribbean to bring a unique, delicious dish. Next, I'll show you this incredible Carolina Gold Cobb salad. Now, this is the type of salad I would order at a restaurant, except it has a way higher quality ingredients at a fraction of the price making it at home. Let me tell you why else I love it. It helps me hit all my macros, it's high in protein, tons of vegetables, and most importantly, so delicious. So if you want something that's both healthy and super satisfying, stick around. Let's get to it. We're gonna start making our crispy chicken. So we're gonna line this tray, set it to the side, and in a bowl, we'll add some almond flour. I love to use almond flour as a breading for my meats because it's low glycemic, so very low in processed carbohydrates, really no processed carbohydrates, and has a really nice flavor as well. Now for the seasonings, you can really freestyle, add your favorite seasonings. I did some barbecue dry rub, paprika, some dried herbs, oregano, thyme, basil, some onion powder, black pepper, a little salt, and some allspice for flavor and color. Because the thing with air frying, you're not going to get the same kind of golden brown as you would deep frying, so I like to make sure that my batter has the color that I want at the end. Next, we'll take a chicken breast and mash it real thin. Flattening your chicken breast like this helps it to cook quicker, evenly, and stay very juicy. Once it's nice and flat, we'll grease our baking sheet and toss our chicken breast in our breading. Make sure it's coated nice and evenly. And we'll pop it in the air fryer on 400 for about 10 to 12 minutes or until it's nice and crispy. Now for our vegetables. You can literally use whatever you want. I'm gonna dice some tomatoes. I know it's trendy right now to get rid of the juicy part of the tomato, but I love that part, especially on a salad, so we're gonna keep it. Dice that up real good. And I'm gonna slice some cucumbers, some sweet peppers, some red onions, a few boiled eggs. Now, if you want to drop the fat content of this recipe, you can just do the egg whites and toss the egg yolks, but I want to really up the protein, so I'm going to keep the egg yolks this time. Some turkey lunch meat. This is organic, low sodium turkey lunch meat. And then we make our salad. I'm going to base mine with a butter lettuce blend. Add my toppings. As you can see, our chicken came out gorgeous. Dice that chicken up while it's still hot. Top it with some ranch. You can use light or yogurt ranch for this recipe if you want to cut calories. And we're going to top it with some Carolina Gold barbecue sauce. Now, if you've ever had Carolina Gold wings, you know, super special, delicious, unique flavor. It's a mixture of mustard and barbecue sauce, so it's going to give us a really tangy, delicious salad. Top it with some aged cheddar cheese. And I always say this, but cheeses that are hard and aged longer than 6 months typically have virtually no lactose. So if you're severely lactose intolerant like me, aged hard cheeses are going to be your best friend. This particular cheese is aged 15 months. Top it with a little pepper, and we're ready to eat. When I say I've been making this so much lately, I'm not kidding. And the best part about it is you can mix and match it and make it a little bit different every time. This has about 50 grams of protein, and as I mentioned, if you want to drop the fat content, you can get rid of the egg yolks and just do the egg whites and use light or yogurt ranch. Next, I'm going to show you one of my favorite classic nostalgic budget-friendly recipes. I love this dish because it takes me straight back to my childhood, and honestly, I don't care how much money I may make in this life, this will always be in rotation. Growing up, we didn't always have a lot, so this is one of those recipes that got us through when the budget was tight. But here's the thing, just because it's inexpensive doesn't mean it can't be incredibly nutritious and delicious. The first smart swap we're going to do is, instead of our bleached white rotini, we're going to use brown rice rotini. Next, we're going to dice some onions, and in the skillet we're going to add our onions and a little bit of minced garlic. Second smart swap is tuna in water with no sodium added. So you can get your tuna in oil, you can get it in water, you can get it with a little bit of sodium, you can get it with a lot of sodium, but we're going to use tuna in water with low sodium because we have a little bit of natural sodium in that tuna, so we don't need a whole bunch of salt added. And we're also going to control our sodium through our seasoning blend, and we'll add some cheese toward the end, which also is going to add some salt to the dish. And for this seasoning blend, I did a citrus herb blend and a little bit of black pepper. And this dish is complete without some frozen peas, and those frozen peas are going to add some plant-based protein, a little sweetness, and some fiber to the dish. The next smart swap is this low-fat coconut milk. It's going to give us some rich creaminess without the excess calories, and it's lactose-free. Next, we're going to add a dried herb blend. Mine is thyme, oregano, and a little bit of basil. Always add your herbs towards the end. You want to give them a chance to soak up some of that moisture, but you don't want to cook the flavor out of them. Next, we'll add our cooked rotini pasta. Again, this is gluten-free brown rice rotini, which I got from Whole Foods. Now, this is definitely one of my secret ingredients. This cheese is a game changer. So if you're lactose intolerant like me and 60 to 70% of the global population, cheese can be a big problem. But did you know that cheeses aged longer than 6 months are typically lactose free? So this aged cheddar cheese is not going to bother us at all. Now, this topping is optional, but we're grown and fancy, so I'm going to use some gluten-free savory crackers. Any crackers will do, but these crackers are delicious, and we're going to just sprinkle a little bit of that on top to give us some texture. Top with a little bit more of that cheese. And a little hot sauce if you're feeling it, and that's the dish. The best part is I get most of these ingredients in the same aisle at Trader Joe's. It's budget friendly, accessible, and absolutely delicious. This is what I mean when I say you don't have to sacrifice flavor for nutrition. This dish honors my childhood memories while supporting my adult health goals. It's proof that the foods we love can love us back. We just need to know how to make them work for us, not against us.